This podcast may contain paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, your go-to resource for unraveling the intricacies of business and leadership, honing in on the essence of bootstrapping a business from scratch. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a dedicated bootstrapper, or a leader navigating life's various challenges, this podcast is crafted just for you. I'm Isaiah O'Connor, your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, and my mission is to guide you towards personal and professional growth. Let's embark on this journey together. Now, with new episodes dropping weekly, I want to welcome you to the Remastered series, your chance to catch up on the journey so far. Here's one from the archives I think you'll enjoy. Today I'm going to be talking about a question that you need to ask yourself when you're really struggling to find motivation in your current business or your current career, or if you're looking for ways to start a new business. And that question is, am I typecasting myself? Now, well, what do I mean by that? First of all, let's look at what is typecasting. Typecasting is something that's usually applied to actors and actresses, and it's used to describe when a person who plays one role that they become so well known for and they're so good at, that's the only type of role they get for the rest of their career. They're kind of stuck in a type. So they're typecast, cast as a type. Now, there's a few examples of this, quite a few actually. One of the more famous ones, was Mr. Bela Lugosi, if I'm pronouncing that anywhere correctly. He was famous for playing Dracula. He had a very strong Hungarian accent, and his stage presence was also very strong. And this caused him to be only cast in horror films, and he was not happy with it. No, he wasn't happy at all with it. When you see a Dracula or a vampire on TV or in the movies now, and it's really campy and kind of tongue-in-cheek, I want to suck your blood, that whole persona, that all came from this one guy, Bela Lugosi, and it was not put on, it was just his natural accent. He hated it. He was quoted as saying, "I'd like to quit the supernatural roles and play just an interesting, down-to-earth person." Bela Lugosi. Obviously, typecasting was a detriment to his career. That's all he could play. He could not find any good roles. He was giving lower billing because no one thought he could actually act anything but Dracula. It was really bad for him. Now, there was another actor at the same time frame that was also typecast, and that was Boris Karloff. And he played Frankenstein's monster. And he became cast as the monster in most monster movies. And he liked it, because he found out that it was his niche, and it really helped him promote him. It was what he was known for. He liked it, and this is what he said about it. "Certainly I was typed. But what is typing? It is a trademark, a means by which the public recognizes you. Actors work all their lives to achieve that. I got mine with just one picture. It was a blessing." Boris Karloff. So, obviously, being typecast or typecasting yourself can be a good thing if you can make it your trademark, if you can make it your own, your little niche, however you pronounce it. So that is a great thing. Now, when I started researching this podcast, I thought of typecasting as only being a bad thing. That was until I saw what Boris Karloff said. So that made me think, what is the difference? And the difference is about passion. If you feel like you're forced into doing something that you're not really passionate about, or not able to become passionate about, you're going to hate it. Even if you're skilled at it, you'll hate it. It doesn't matter. If it's something you can't really put your heart into, it's going to be miserable for you. But on the flip side, if it's something you can really put your heart into, that you're really passionate about and you can really love, it's going to be a great thing for you. You'll be in a niche market. You'll be able to succeed and do well. Being in a niche market is one of the best things you can be as an entrepreneur. That's for another podcast. When you are looking at your next big career move, be it changing your current career and going to another job or another position, or as more than likely, if you're listening to this podcast, you're planning to jump into your own business, start your own thing, or you're doing something and your business that you started, you're just not feeling it anymore and you want to change. Well, that's when you need to look at if you've been typecasting yourself. That is to say, when you're looking at moving forward and changing careers or starting a business, you may be tempted to expect to only do the things that you already have a skill in, say math, or experience in. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by that. One of my very first jobs I had and held for long term that wasn't just a weekend job to make extra money was working as an arcade attendant. And later, as a lead attendant or a guy in a leadership position there. That's where I met Jason, and that's why this blog exists, because of the experience I got there. Now, I got pretty good at it. I got good at fixing the machines and dealing with the kids and all the other stuff that goes along with that business. So when I left that business and I moved to a different city, I only thought that my skill set was in working in arcades, in family fun centers, and that's the only jobs I applied for. Problem was, it's not the biggest industry in the United States. It's pretty big, but not the biggest. And there's a very few decent jobs you can get in that field. Most of the positions are entry-level minimum wage. So not the best job to get when you're trying to support a family. But that's all I looked for because that's all I thought I was good for. What I had failed to see was the other skill sets I had learned from that job. I had learned customer service. I had learned sales. I had learned leadership skills. I had learned how to deal with kids. All of these could easily translate into multiple other positions. However, because I had typecast myself as an arcade attendant, this made it really hard for me to break out of that and look for other jobs that fell within the skill set I had learned. So I've done this over and over and over again, my long work history. Look back, I worked at a restaurant once, then I'm stuck working restaurant jobs. Oh, look, I've worked retail, I'm stuck working retail jobs. So you put yourself kind of in a rut because you look back and you think, well, I can only do this, and you play to the type. And like I said, you just fail to see all the other skills and everything else that you've developed when you're looking back. Now, what can you do with this information? I think you can use it in a few ways. First of all, if you're an entrepreneur and you've started up a business already, and it's a business in a field that you have a good, strong skill in, say you're a great accountant and you start up your own accounting firm, but you find out you really hate it. Yeah, you're kind of making it through, but you just can't push through and become big. You may even be able to be marginally successful and make a living, but you're just miserable being an accountant. Yeah, you're really, really good at it, and you're a great accountant, but you really can't stand it, and it's really holding you back. Maybe you should look back and see what other skills you have that are related that you can become passionate about. Or say that you're starting a new business and you want to start and do something exciting, and you look back and you go, hey, I've always worked as a cook. Perhaps I'll start myself a restaurant. That may not be the best plan based only on your previous experience. You can look back and go, what did I learn as a cook? I learned organization skills. I learned inventory management. I've learned how to communicate with servers. I've learned how to deal with high-stress situations. What other skills have I learned from doing that? And do I even like being a cook? Are there other opportunities that I've learned while being in there. Maybe you've picked up something as small as learning how to sharpen knives really, really well, and you decide to start a business sharpening knives professionally. There's a few people out there that do that, not many, but just as an example. So you don't have to be locked into your past experience. And of course, lastly, one thing you can do is if you find that you've really got yourself kind of locked into a role or typecast in something that you love, you can make it your niche. You can use it to stand out from the crowd. And standing out from the crowd is what brings in customers and helps develop loyalty. When marketing, the biggest thing you need is to stand out, especially if you're in a very crowded and or flooded market with your product. Take Norway, for example. Norwegians are in the top 10 coffee drinkers per capita in the world. And there's a coffee shop on nearly every street corner in the main areas. So if you want to stand out and you want to do coffee, you really have to do something to really stand out from the crowd. And to sum up, do not let a narrow view of your past experience hold you back from moving forward. Look at your past experience with a broad lens. Look for everything you have to offer. You will likely be very pleasantly surprised to find you have a lot more value than you realize. Until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor. If today's episode added value to your day, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and consider giving us a stellar 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. Whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, or more. And remember, if you leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, I will personally read it out in the next episode. To support the show, you can make a one-time gift by buying us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap, donate through PayPal at paypal.me/IOCPOD, or make a contribution on our Patreon page at patreon.com/IOCPOD. Your support keeps the episodes coming. For even more content and exclusive perks, join our Patreon community at patreon.com/IOCPod. Patrons enjoy ad-free episodes, access to our private Discord server, early content previews, and a lot more. And here's an exciting offer. Get your free trial of our $5 a month Bootstrapper Community Explorer tier. This exclusive tier grants you ad-free content, Discord server access, and early content previews. Join us and be part of the inner circle. If you're feeling more generous, those who join tiers $25 a month and up will have a chance to be a featured guest on this podcast. A massive thank you to Wintergatan for generously providing the incredible intro and outro music at no cost. We appreciate their support. Be sure to check out Wintergatan's amazing work on YouTube at youtube.com/@Wintergatan. Until next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor, signing off. This is the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, brought to you by Athos Business Solutions. For our companion podcast, the Athos Business Podcast, hosted by Jason St. Clair, along with past episodes and related blogs, visit our website at athos.com. That's ATHEOZ.com or theoz.com. Goodbye for now.